me and my companion, our car, something was wrong with it, and so we were at Firestone or Jiffy Lube, I don't know, some car place, and sitting in the waiting room, and we were just sitting there, and there's probably like 6 or so other people in there, and I don't know, like, if you can imagine just like a normal waiting room, like it's pretty silent, and everyone just sits there and reads their magazine and kind of stays in their own little bubble. And for some reason that day, I was just sitting there thinking, and I just had like the thought, like, you should talk about the Book of Mormon right now. And I was like, really? That's really awkward, like really awkward, and going to be weird to interrupt everyone. And so I sat there and kind of argued, internally for like a few minutes, and it was like, no, you should really talk about the Book of Mormon right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And so anyways, so I reached in my bag, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. And pulled out a Book of Mormon and just looked at it, and I was like, okay. And I was like, so, I can't remember what I said. I was like, so sorry to interrupt your magazine reading, but I'm a missionary, and I just kind of like launched into like, or I guess I said, I'm a missionary, and I was just sitting here thinking, I have this thing that's really important to me, and that I should share it, and that I want to share it with you guys. And so people kind of looked up and were just like, what in the heck? And so I just started talking, and just looked at everyone, and just started talking, and talked about the Book of Mormon, and kind of went through the whole first lesson, Joseph Smith story and everything. And I was kind of laughing to myself inside, because as I was talking, like one by one, people just kind of like got up and walked out. And I was like, man, this is going great. And so they started getting up and walking out, and I just kept talking. But there's one girl who was listening really, like, pretty in, what's the word? Attentively? Paying close attention. And so as everyone walked out, it finally ended up being just her sitting there. And she was paying really close attention. And like, we got down to the Joseph Smith story, and I went through the vision and went over, just sat next to her so I could just talk to her. And anyways, she was really interested. She loved what we talked about, and kind of, there's just a really strong spirit in the room, and she was just kind of like captivated by the whole thing. And so anyways, so she ended up living in another mission outside of our mission, so we sent the referral along and gave her a Book of Mormon and stuff. So I don't know what the end of that story was. But it was just a good lesson in, when I had a prompting and I was like, no, this is going to be ridiculous, that it actually turned out really neat, and that God knew that, that lady in there would listen to that.